All hail the stained glass. Welcome back to Artisan of Glimmith. We have a new mechanic, Precision 5. All regions must have an area of exactly 5. And would you look at that, it's difficulty 5. We got a ton of deltas and Geminis as well. So much so, I actually don't even know where I'm gonna begin. Well, here's the thing. If I have a shape in here, at some point, it's gonna touch another Gemini. And I guess we know that this shape can't touch both here and here, because we can't have a Delta and Gemini then go to the same square. It'd be contradictory. But when it touches a Gemini, then all the other spots are gonna have the same shape. Actually, this is curious, especially right here. We know this will be the same shape and this will be the same shape. So this must be a different shape, and then all these would then be the same shape. So I can actually use that to carve out my first shape. Oh, except don't block in a different shape. It's gonna have to be something like this, or this shape is gonna have to come out and do something similar. I could also expand on the reds, where I don't know actually which way it's gonna go. But whatever it does, I have to prepare for all the other shapes to be the same. Actually, back to the blue shapes. We know we can't have this S piece, because it's just not possible for the other blue piece to also be an S piece. So there's gotta be a long L, which will force this to be like so. And now I guess we know red can't be a long L, but I'm pretty sure it was never going to be one anyway. We can't have it be a 5 in a row, because there's no space for this to be a 5 in a row. We can't have it be a T piece, because there's no way for this shape to be a T piece. So I'm pretty sure that leaves this funky shape. That's the only remaining one. But with that in mind, I think I'll just try to make a bunch of those. But I don't know which way they're going to poke out. This will have to be one of those. Which way is it going to poke? Wait, doesn't it leave an issue down here? Well, I'm confused then, because this piece has to go over, and then it will poke up in one of these two spots. If this piece goes over here, we're going to have 3 squares reserved for 2 pokes, which doesn't check out. So it has to go down like this, but then this also has to go down. And the thing is, pokes can't be on the edge of the forlong. So what's happening here? What did I miss? Is there still a valid shape? Oh, I see the issue. It's in this shape. Of course, the forlong can't be here, and it can't be here, but it could be the poke. It could easily be the poke. And then that forces this to line up, and then this will come down, and it'll just poke in one way or another. I think this could actually go in either direction. Of course, the puzzle isn't quite solved yet, but I can start filling in the surrounding shapes, just that aren't either of them. And then I can use that to determine, okay, we must poke to the right, which means that this must come to the right, and prepare to poke down. It's not going to poke down here because that'd trap in 1 by 1, but this would work. And then all of a sudden, the puzzle's solved. Oh man, a good tricky one to start us out. Right, let's hunt around for more difficulty 5s. That seems fun. All regions must have an area of exactly 8. Interesting. Well, once again, I don't know where to start. All I can really determine is that you can't have a shape on both sides of the same line, so you would begin like that? I don't actually know the best things to think about. Like, we'd have a shape coming out of here, which is different from the shape coming out of here, and shape coming out of here. Maybe I have to think about this middle shape. Where can it go? Because think about it, it can't go all the way left. That's going to block off this shape. And it can't go that far up. It'll block off this shape. So it's got to hang out in the middle area. And it can't be on both sides of this line. I'm pretty sure this is not a valid spot because then it can't progress any further. It's only size 7. So that means we know it has to go up here at least a little. And let's just think about the maximum amount of land this can take. We got 6 already. This makes 7. This can make 8. But technically, we don't know if this is 8 or if like this is 8 or this is 8. And we also don't know if this is going to be part of this shape either. We do know this is going to be part of the shape because you have to think about what would happen if it's not part of the shape. If it's not part of the shape, well, it can't be purple. It can't be on both sides of the same line. And can't be a different shape because it's going to block off purple. So it has to be part of the shape. So I think we can actually determine this for sure, mark off this line, and then maybe start thinking about purple, right? We know purple at least has to escape this far. And I guess we can't have an island here. That means it can't merge with green. And all of a sudden, green can start doing a bit more. I think that's size 7. Can't be 8, can't block it off, but we have our first complete shape here. We also got another big progress on shape. I think this is 7. This make 8. And then green could come out. I believe this is 8 as well, so this must be part of the shape. And then this make 8, and there we go. That's a beautiful solve. It's time for the big beefy puzzle. Difficulty 5, precision 5. I don't know where to begin, except I can determine a size 4 in the upper right. Nope, just kidding. It can be a size 5, because otherwise it would be on both sides of the same line. So from there, you can start coming down and actually get another shape. And we can get another size 5. So off to a good start. Whatever resides at this choke point must then complete this shape for another size 5. We can do a new shape from here, but actually I don't know which way that one's going yet. So our fun is finally ended. I could jump to upper left. Whatever occupies here must also occupy these, but I don't know which way it should go. All I know is that this is going to be a different shape. What about bottom left? Well, I actually maybe want to focus on here. This would come up, and this should be a different shape. And this is a different shape from the yellow. Well, so now we actually have an interesting dilemma with the yellow. No matter where the yellow goes, it's going to block in this peach colored shape at some point. So when it blocks in peach, we need to make sure the remaining tiles are a multiple of 5. I believe the most I can leave remaining is 9, so it has to actually be 5 itself, which the only way I see to do that is this. I think that is the only way to do that. All right, then we got a new shape coming out. But I don't know if these should merge or not, so I might let it rest. Let's check out the bottom right. This must come over. And this shape must come over. And actually, this is a complete shape. Very nice. Then because of choke point rules, we know that this has to be a shape. I think also then I give a little plus here. Okay. Coming on out. Got to have a nice long shape here, which actually could let me continue this shape upwards. And that's it. Then we have a shape here, which I don't know if it merges with green or not. Maybe head back to upper left, since that's missing a lot. Can have a shape come up here. Purple could merge with yellow. Or it could go left. But pretty much no matter what, it's going to cut off both yellow and blue. We have to think just like the bottom left. Leave the right amount of tiles to actually complete a size 5. I'm going to tell you right now, this actually will not work. Because in total, there's 9 tiles left behind. You can't get 2 shapes out of that. So I can actually draw a line here. Have this come up. Have this come down. And I can complete my shape at least. And then I guess it has to merge with the yellow because otherwise it's cutting it off. So let that merge. Don't cut off a shape of 1. So that's complete. You can bring out this shape and bring out this. Separate these. Bring this further. I do have to be careful with blue encroaching in the green space. I guess blue could come up like this, allowing green to dart down. Is yellow ever going to come in here? No, because that would block off a lot of green. So I'm going to draw this line, complete yellow like here. And then, okay, I actually do need a plus here because that's the only way purple's going to work. Then I have to merge these 2 shapes. This comes in. And then I think I actually do have to finish off like that. Difficulty 5 and a gold window. On to the next mechanic. This mechanic has a 6 difficulty. I'm going to level up my brain first. And how about I hunt a 5 puzzle first? This is the polynomial. Whatever is etched on the tile depicts the shape of its region. So if the upper left is going to be part of an elbow macaroni, then it's part of an elbow macaroni. But then this 2-piece, I guess it could go either way. I don't even know what I'd want to do with that yet. Well, this T-piece is pretty funny. It could go this way. It could not go this way because it blocks in the 2-piece. Nor could it go this way. So actually, we're kind of out of ways. No, it could go this way. Okay, but that's it. So we know it has to do at least this much. And I'll draw lines here and here. The L piece actually has only 2 options, and both of them include a stem going out here, right? No, actually, there are more options. It can go like this or like this. Just the problem with doing that way is that it isolates the 3B. And actually, maybe that's something I could look at instead. The 3 has to go somewhere. So it's got to go up and down. Block this off. Block this off. But I actually don't know if it goes up anymore. Well, so actually that creates an interesting situation between this 2-piece and this L piece. One of the 2 is going to be occupying this square. We don't have to know which. Basically, either the 2 would occupy this square, or in either of the other spots for the 2, it would in fact force the blue to occupy this square. So we know then this T-piece must go like this, lock it in. This 2-piece must go here. And I guess actually we can then prove this L piece must go at least down, but then we don't know which way it bends until we do this and then force this to go over, get a 2-piece here, 3-piece here. Now we're cooking. The L piece here could actually be this way or this way. But we don't actually know anything about it yet. Maybe the long L piece is going to have to be part of the help. I mean, we know the long side can't go down. Long side has to be horizontal. This is at minimum part of the direction, and we know it's not going to merge with the 2s. We can actually continue 2s then this way, get an L piece here, force a 2 in, and it actually might just start cascading at this point. It can be brought out a little bit further. Get the 2-piece, get this piece, and got him. Nice puzzle. All right, let's get the 6 now. All regions must be one of those 4 size ones, but these are specific. Okay, I could denote them then with different colors, red, yellow, and blue. Where the hell would I begin? Well, I guess I could begin with red. No, it could be actually one of many T-pieces. I don't know if any of these are actually particularly forced. Maybe I could think about the regions on the side, since we know everything is size 4. The fact that there are 11 pieces in the upper left tells me that whatever's at the choke point is also gonna have to creep in and grab 3 pieces, which would look either like this, which I don't think actually creates 2 shapes within the shape bank that can fill the rest. Or we have this, which would let us do 2 S pieces, right? But we know that has to come in. All right, what about upper right? That has 8. So actually, this should not come in at all. From there, well, I can't have S go up like this. Can't quite have this either because that's 5. This is 6. I can do this, which leaves 4, which I think is the only possibility left. So I'm gonna mark that in and put a blue L piece here. Quick question, how would I get those in the upper right? It would look like this and then S piece. All right, looking good. What about bottom left? That has 10. So the S must come in twice, which is gonna be once. And we can draw a line here. And it can't go down, it's gonna leave an island of 1. So it's gotta go up like this, and then complete the S here. And we can have an S and a T. Nice and simple. And then right side has 13. So this has to come in once, and stop. I mean, I guess that forces this T piece specifically. And I guess a lot of this lines up pretty cleanly. All right, filling out here. And then we just got 1 more little S piece, and then 2 more L pieces. Get on, difficulty 6. And hello, golden stained glass. Level 5 puzzle. With a new mechanic, neighboring regions must have different shapes. So you can only have a 1x1, 1x2, or 2x3. So I'll try to color them appropriately. I'm gonna go with yellow for the 1x2s. Now I guess if there's a 1x1 and a 1x2 adjacent to a shape, it's gotta be part of a 2x3. But I don't know which way it's gonna go. I can draw these lines and then fit another 1x2 quite easily, and a 1x1.
But still don't know where it's going.
Well, a little deduction. I don't believe this can be part of a 1x2. Because I mean, either of 2 1x2s adjacent to each other, or if it goes up, there's actually gonna be this path where you have a 1x1, and then no matter what shape goes here, there's gonna be an adjacency. So that means if it's not a 1x1 or a 1x2, it's gotta be a 2x3. That will only fit here, which means this 2x3 must go up. And then I can fit in a 1x1 and 1x2 with very basic logic. 2 adjacencies means the last one's a 1x1, and then same goes again with the 1x2s. Although this one could go either way. So I'll get the 2x3 up here pretty cleanly, and a 1x1, and a 1x2 in the corner, causing a 2x3 here. Which way is it going? Well, we'll see. Now I can get a 1x1 in the corner. And I'm pretty sure the 2x3 has to go down, because if it went to the right, I would have a situation where it's a 1x1, then a 1x2 that's adjacent to other 1x2s, and that's just invalid. Let's close that off. Then I do have a 1x2 here, which can't go to the right, because again, neither a 1x1 or a 1x2 can go in that corner. So you're going up, and then this one's gonna have to go up. I can force a 1x1 here, and a 1x2 here. Which way is it going? Again, it can't go right because we'd have another area where it can't be 1x1 or 1x2. So up. Okay, we're getting close. I feel like I can infer there also can't be a 2x3 here, because that would lead down a line where it's a 1x1 and then nothing can go here. So that would deduce that's only a 1x1 here, which means the 2x3 is here, because it can't be either of the other two. And 1x1, 2x1, 1x1. And it should fall pretty quickly. There we go. Cool puzzle. Oh shit, there's a 6 level that isn't the boss. Okay. Either 1 long, 2 longs, or 3 longs. And we also have the polynomial and mingle shape. So I guess actually with the 3 longs, they're either going to be like this or like this. And I think that's the case for all of them because they can't reach that far. Just what's going to be the one that actually makes the difference? Well, maybe I can look at this little 2x2 area here. Pretty much no matter what, if the 3 long is like this or like this, it'll be adjacent to this square. So this cannot be a 3 long. So it's going to be a 1x1 or 2x2. And you can actually say the same for all 4 of these squares. So all these are either a 1x1 or a 2x1. Now, the only way you could get that to work then is if it's in a checkerboard pattern. Either 1-1, 2-2, or flipped around. I believe the same should go for the other spot up here. Well, I'll tell you what. You can't have the 2 longs in the corner slots because they need to actually grow. So that's where the 1x1s go. Lock them in, and then 2 longs will go in one of the directions. Now, the 2x1s could be at either half of this 2x2. So I'll leave that be. Although, even though it actually doesn't matter where the 2x1s are, you can actually do something about the 3x1s, but because of the 2x1s. There's 2 options. Either it's like this, right? And then we know this has to expand out, this has to expand out. And we would have 3x1 like this, 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 and that, right? That's how the 3x1s would have to be just because of space restrictions. But then, if I invert it, go up, up, notice that the 3x1s are actually still facing the same direction. So that means you can actually lock those in. And we can use that to actually build off this 2x1. And then, okay, well, this has to be part of a 3x1, which Mingle shape says it has to join with the nearby 3x1 instead of being a separate one. This has to be part of a 2x1. Don't join. This must go this way. And now, all of a sudden, we got a lot more 3x1s falling into place. Got another 3x1, which then must go up. 3x1 here. 3x1. And then I feel like it should start falling into place neatly. Yeah, I feel like we actually made the biggest discoveries now. Now we just kind of reap the benefits of our labor and just keep alternating 1x1s and 2x1s. Yeah, it's beautiful. I think I can actually just stop drawing the borders and just let it ride through. What a cool puzzle. That was an interesting break-in. Now let's see what the boss puzzle's like. It's only difficulty 5, but it's huge. Okay, a lot of different shapes here. Let's just mark the ones we know and then go from there. There's actually a lot of 1 sizes, but I can also draw a ton of lines since we know you can't have a shape be 2 different shapes. But another thing you can actually do is if you have 2 polynomials next to each other with the Mingle shape rule, you can actually know they have to be part of the same shape. Because if they weren't part of the same shape, they would still be the same shape, just adjacent to each other, which is not okay with the Mingle shape rule. Same, 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 same. Now, what does that mean? Well, let's think about the bottom left big zag. The big zag either has to encompass the nearby same polynomials, or it has to avoid touching them. And the only way, there's no way to encompass it, but you can avoid touching it like this. That's the only way to avoid touching it, so I'll let that be. And then I realized something similar is gonna have to go down with this zigzag, which I believe avoids touching them like this. Yeah, there's no way to have it meet up. Now, these could all be together, right? Could. They don't have to. The other big zag, I believe, has to avoid. Now, it actually can't go down here, so I believe it has to do this shape, which, okay. Going a bunch of 2x1s. And I'm pretty sure then the 2 big zag clusters have to merge. I don't see any big zag that does any avoiding of the rest of the big zag. So I'm gonna just put it all together. More groups of 2. Now I can infer with this 4 in a row, there's no space for it to go sideways. So it's got to go up and down, but at most it can only go 2 up. So it's got to at least go down by 1. But then the buck stops there. I wonder if I have to leave this area behind for now. I could draw my attention to the upper right. The 3 in a row has to go sideways because the 2 here is blocking it. But that's all I've got. Actually, okay, this 2 in a row has to avoid this 2 in a row. So it can't go either of these directions. Mark that off. I guess similar with this 2 in a row, can't go up or right, so it's got to go down. Now, I guess whatever this shape is can't be a part of a 2 in a row. Neither can this. So that means this elbow macaroni can't bend in here because it creates a 2 in a row. Nor can it do something like this because actually that's perfectly fine. Well, okay, the other consequences are this 3 in a row has to be like this then, which would create a 1 in a row here, which is no good. At least I know the 3 in a row can only go up at most 1, so it's going to go down by 1 always. Draw a line. Same but with the 4 in a row, this actually can go down twice. Mark that. But the L piece, I think, could go either way. Actually, we just know the 3 in a row can't go up as well, because that creates a 1 in a row. So I'm just going to mark this off right here. And then the only remaining spot for the elbow macaroni is here, which then creates a 3 in a row here, which is fine. And we know this can't be a part of a 1 in a row, 2 in a row, so it's got to expand. Then it can't be part of a 3 in a row or a 4 in a row. So it's going to be blocked off here, finish this piece. Looks like we got another 2 in a row. I guess, though, it actually can't be a part of this piece because then we'll have 2 adjacent shapes of the same type. This is going to have to be roped off. But it can't be a 4 in a row, so it's got to keep growing. But it can't merge with this because that's a 6 in a row that contains a 5 in a row. And it can't end here because it'd be a 5 in a row next to a 5 in a row. So it's got to keep going. Don't know which way yet. We know then this 2 in a row has to go here. Block that off. I can get this funky shape here, which I believe the only space left would result in this. 3 in a row can at least go over by 1. The 3 in a row can't finish here because that would create a 2 in a row here, which is no good. But elbow macaroni is fair game. This piece has to come out 4 times. And then I actually don't know which way it's going to bend just yet. But we can look at the 5 in a row. There's no room for it to go left. It just doesn't fit. So it's got to go down 5. Perfect. This piece has only 1 spot now. Is this really another 2 in a row? Okay. Now this piece has to bend at least once. And actually, if it ends here, then it upsets the 1 in a row. So it's going to be that piece. That was a cool saga. Now, I guess I got to figure out what I'm doing with this wiggly boy. I see 2 possible shapes for it. Either this M or this M, right? So in both shapes, it goes this far. And we just don't know if it continues up or down. But we know this shape can be closed off. I mean, technically, a third option for the shape could be this. But the point still holds where these 3 cells are always included. I kind of want to look at the next big shape. Like, big shape's starting to run out of space. So it's just a longer zag, which could fit like this. You could also take this same shape and move it down by 1, because that fits. You could also do this, and you could also do this. Are there any guaranteed pieces? I'm pretty sure these 2 are always guaranteed. Yeah, even if you add in this shape, which is also fine, it's still these 2 are ride or dies. That doesn't actually help me, though. I can't even really draw anything helpful with that. You know what? I got to think about the 1 in a row here. This can't ever be blocked off. So I can't draw a shape that would force it to be blocked off. So the 2 can't go up. This piece can't go over because it's never going to fill in this gap as well. So that's wrong. That probably narrows down at least the number of shapes it could be. I also can't leave behind a 2 in a row in there. I guess I could draw this shape starting to come out, right? It's got to at least be an elbow macaroni. So now at least I know these 3 cells are in cahoots together. I feel like an elbow macaroni's fine. I mean, let's say this wasn't capped off, right? Then this would keep going, which this cell says it can't end there because it'd be 2 adjacent shapes. Then if it gets bigger, then we'd have 2 adjacent shapes still, and then 1 bigger, we'd still have 2 adjacent shapes. So I would need it to go this far. Is this overstepping? Yes, because the 2 in a row, no matter what it does, it's going to create either a 1 in a row next to a 1 in a row, or 2 in a row next to a 2 in a row. And that's not okay. So it is done here. I guess I could think about that 2 in a row a little bit more then. Like the 2 in a row can't go up to create the 1 in a row, so that's a wall. And then if the 2 in a row comes over here, I would have a blockade and then 2 elbow macaronis next to each other. So we can prove 2 in a row has to go down. Wait, what about this shape then? Wait, maybe this shape actually does have to join up then with this shape? Because I realized no matter how you slice it, it's going to be the same shape as a neighbor. 1 by 1, 2 by 1, elbow macaroni is neighbor, S-Ben's neighbor, M piece is neighbor, and that's a neighbor with this. So I'm pretty sure then this is one shape. Okay, I think the rest shall fall then, at least around here. Whoops, I didn't draw everything. There we go. Get them S pieces, get this piece. 2 goes down. The 2 can't go up. I guess I could think about this elbow macaroni and not creating other 1 pieces next to 1 pieces. The only way I see of doing that is either this shape or this shape. But the problem with this shape is that it would just create adjacent elbow macaronis. So it's going to have to be this one. So then you must come out. 2 in a row is fine. I don't know if it needs to expand or not. This must also come out. Same with this. And we need to go further than elbow macaroni. Wait, but we'd have adjacent T pieces. Oh, no. Uh-oh. I made a bad assumption. Oh, wait, I missed this piece. That one is perfectly fine. Okay, so it had to be this piece by process of elimination. And these pieces still have to come out, so they don't be a 1 in a row or an elbow macaroni, and it can't be a T piece. So it could be this shape. The elbow macaroni can't meet. Gotta come out. If it goes down, I'll create another 1 piece, so it's gonna be that. If this 2 piece goes over, it creates another 1 piece, so it must go here. This can't be a 2 piece or an elbow macaroni, so it's got to be a 1 piece. This area can't be a 1 or 2 piece, so it's got to be part of the 4 piece. And I think I can clean it up, get a T piece, and the rest falls into place. Good God. That was a tough one. The 6th difficulty had some hard logic, but this 5 was just a brutal gauntlet. A puzzle well solved and another golden stained glass. Next time, gonna travel further to new mechanics and new lands. So stay tuned. Thank you all for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you in the next one. Have a wonderful day and peace.